Last time, we told the tale of how a fisherman unknowingly steals something from a bronze dragon, and the dragon punishes him. The link for that video is in the description, but today we will go deeper as to why the bronze dragon behaved the way it did. Bronze dragons are of the metallic grouping, true dragons characterized by their metal-colored scales, having two distinct breath weapons, and being generally good in nature. But what makes them different from their cousins? Bronze dragons are large and muscular, being one of the strongest of the metallic dragons, just behind the silver and the gold. Their claws are sharp and curve neatly backwards and upwards like the talons of an eagle. Their head is defined by a large bony crest crowned with black spikes that protrude upward, giving the bronze dragon a menacing yet regal appearance. Their mouths narrow to a point like a beak of a great hawk, and yet they have teeth, many strong, barbed teeth, perfect for catching fish. These dragons have a large frill that runs from the base of their skull down to the tip of their long tails, and they sport the traditional wing shape of most dragons. This sets them apart from their metallic cousins such as the gold dragon, who have more manta ray-like wings. The scales of a bronze dragon are a bronze with a metallic sheen. Young wormlings have scales of light yellow tint, while the adults have a much deeper bronze hue in their scales. The most striking thing about the body of a bronze dragon is that they are built to be semi-aquatic. Their feet are webbed, their scales are smooth, and their tails are like an eel, flat and muscular, propelling the dragon through the water. Out of all true dragons, the bronze dragons are likely the best swimmers, in my own opinion. Even their breath weapon, a terrible blast of lightning, is uniquely suited to watery environments. A bronze dragon will typically make its lair along a major body of water, next to an ocean or great lake. They can make their homes near rivers, but usually do not, as most rivers are simply too small to sustain them. They do, however, love the water. They love to spend their days swimming, and can even breathe underwater, though whether this is due to hidden gills or simply a part of the dragon's magical nature is a matter of debate. As for the layout of a bronze dragon's lair, they prefer it to be someplace that is difficult to access without being able to fly or swim a good distance. Some make their homes atop lonely sea stacks. Others favor completely submerged caves. Either way, their lairs are a combination of flooded caverns and dry passages. Their lairs are not terribly large, as they prefer a more compact area that is easily defensible. In the defense of their lairs, a bronze dragon will set clever traps within the dry and flooded parts of their homes, treating their lairs like a fortress, and patrol the many passages that lead to and from their home. Such passages are often underwater. Their lairs are kept clean and well maintained, with each room serving a specific purpose: a dry larder for storing food, a chamber of watery caves to swim and relax in, and of course a room for their treasure hoard, which is always kept tidy, organized, and dry. Bronze dragons are warriors of justice. They revel in fighting evil creatures, and will even ally themselves with humanoids if they find the cause worthy of their attention and power, in exchange for a large sum of money, of course. You may be forgiven for thinking that a bronze dragon will spend each day striking out from its lair, diving deep into the oceans and doing battle with the horrors that dwell below. But this is not so. In their fight against evil, the bronze are more like vigilant guardsmen than crusading knights. They will fight evil creatures that trespass within their domain, but they hardly ever leave their own territory, instead keeping a constant vigil over their domain to ensure that no evil is being done. They do this by observing the humanoids that live within their domains. All dragons are beings of magic, and metallic dragons have the innate ability to polymorph. Any coastal city of humanoids may have a bronze dragon living near and among them, without ever really knowing it. Typically, a bronze dragon will assume the form of a benign sea creature, such as a dolphin or seagull, and closely observe the ships that sail near their homes. Occasionally, the dragon may sneak aboard these ships to inspect their cargo for treasure, but the true purpose of spying on these ships is to make sure that none of them are pirates. Bronze dragons despise pirates. When not spying on ships on the shore, the bronze dragon may disguise itself as a lonely beggar on the streets. The dragon does not care if you give it a gold coin or a scrap of food. It cares only that you gave something. Those who do not give them anything while in their poor beggar's disguise, then in their minds, you have failed a vital test. You have failed to show the dragon that there is goodness in your heart, and the dragon will then return to its lair to think on how to punish those that failed its test. But what of those that passed this unknowing test of character? They receive nothing. If testing the good and evil within the hearts of humanoids is so important to a bronze dragon, then why not reveal itself in all its glory and impose its ideals onto the populace? That would go against the bronze dragon's very nature. Firstly, all bronze dragons find tyranny to be deplorable. If they were to impose their ideals of right and wrong onto humanoids by force, that would make them a tyrant. Secondly, bronze dragons truly believe that the goodness of a person can only be tested if that person is unaware they are being tested in the first place. But how do the bronze dragons punish those that fail their test or commit heinous acts of piracy? They are not punished by death. Never death. Despite their proud mentality as warriors of justice, a bronze dragon will only kill as a last resort. Instead, they destroy the homes of evil men, or leave pirates stranded on the open sea by destroying their sails and rudders, usually without the humanoids ever knowing they were the target of a bronze dragon's justice. This aversion to killing all but the worst of enemies is why the bronze dragon has a unique breath weapon, a repulsion breath, a cone of magical energy that is exhaled from the dragon's mouth, sending all but the hardiest of creatures flying harmlessly away. They do not grant this odd mercy to the evil denizens of the deep, especially the Sahuagin, a race of deep-sea-dwelling fishmen that are evil to their core. Bronze dragons love to seek out and devour as many of these hideous fish monsters as possible, not just for the cause of purging evil, but because Sahuagin taste remarkably like shark, which is a bronze dragon's favorite food. If your coastal city is free of sharks, that may be a sign a bronze dragon is about. This behavior of tests or horrific feeding frenzies is turned on its head when dealing with one of their own species. Bronze dragons enjoy the company of their own kind more than any other creature, and are always respectful and highly social with one another. They mate for life, and spend a great deal of time raising and educating their young, teaching them how to hunt, how to fly, and how to fight at an early age. Yet these vigilant soldiers of justice are not without their vices. As with all dragons, the bronze have a love of treasure, storing it in their lairs in the form of a massive, well-protected hoard. The bronze dragon will scour the seas for all manner of sunken treasures. Each scrap of it is taken back to their lair, where it is meticulously cleaned, dried, and stored neatly. Despite their aquatic lifestyle, bronze dragons dislike their hoard being wet or submerged in water. The hoard itself is composed mostly of loot that it has taken from enemies it has defeated. Stolen treasures from pirates and evil sea monsters, trophies that tell of the deeds against the horrors of the deep. Their hoards are often accented by colorful beds of coral and rings of precious pearls. But it is gold that they covet the most. Their lust for gold is innate in their draconic blood, which creates a paradox in the dragon's mind. They despise evil, and they are aware that gold is a cause of greed, one of the greatest evils, yet they cannot help it. When it comes to gold, a bronze dragon is as an addict in a state of balance between sobriety and relapsing. Should a bronze dragon decide that the enemy it faces is deserving of death, then it becomes a force of nature, tearing through sea and sky, hammering into the enemy like a hurricane. They target the most dangerous and most evil creature on the battlefield, such as sea serpents or krakens, tearing into them with an animalistic ferocity. They possess an instinctual understanding of how to combat such gargantuan sea monsters, and the bronze dragon will commit to a relentless onslaught, blasting the foe from afar with a powerful shot of lightning from its mouth, before slamming into the enemy and tearing through them with their powerful claws. So great is their fury that even allies of the dragon would do well to keep out of the melee. Despite their ferocity, they are not stupid. A bronze dragon will perform a tactical retreat if overwhelmed, the only exception being if the fight takes place within or near the dragon's lair, in which case it will fight to the death. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did enjoy this, then consider subscribing or leaving a comment. It all really helps me out a lot, and I enjoy hearing what you guys have to think. If you really want to support the channel, there is a Patreon. There's not too much I can give you guys at the moment, unfortunately, but I plan to make changes to that in the future. I do have a goal up on Patreon. If we can reach that goal, I'll be reaching out to you guys to send me your D&D stories. Specifically stuff that, like, happened in your campaign. Maybe your character did something really cool, or really funny, or really stupid, and you think it deserves a narration. Well, if we reach the goal, I'll be reaching out to you guys to send me those kinds of in-game stories, and I'll be giving them the best narration that I can give them. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.